the world needs help with getting away from the processed stuff because it is killing us as a nation. Obesity and diabetes, and it's just.
I think if people can get this one thing through their minds, they can impact their fitness through diet the most, and that is that sugar is the devil. Right? I tell my kids that all the time. Sugar is the devil. And remember, carbs turn to sugar in our guts.
Right.
So if you eat carbs, it's no different than eating a spoonful of sugar. So I don't care where it comes from. If it is sugar, it is bad for your teeth. It's bad for your body. There's nothing good about sugar. You don't need it. It is addictive. If you eat some, you're going to want more. It's hidden in everything. So I think if you can learn, and then here's another thing I've learned, especially being carnivore now for, I think it's been 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I will eat something sweet, right? Nobody's perfect. And once in a while, I'm like, my wife and I, we just had our anniversary and hey, I ordered dessert, you know? And once in a while, my kids want to go out for ice cream. And it's probably like maybe once every 3 months or something, but I still want it to be a good time. And so we recently just went to Nelson's Custard, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to eat ice cream, I mean, it's probably the best.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And so I start eating it, and it is so sweet. And the thing I've noticed, stuff that wasn't sweet to me prior to carnivore is so sweet to me because I almost
you can only have so much. Yeah, you can't eat that much. Too rich.
I don't even want it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even. Yeah, I mean, I'll have this like, oh yeah, let's just go do it. It sounds awesome because in my past it would be fun to go do, and then I start eating it, and I'm like, no. And I have to, my son, he's awesome because he never wants sugar. Aspen does, and she's the only one out of all my kids. Aspen's 7, Rome is 9. Rome's never had a cavity. Mm-hmm. And Aspen has had one cavity, and he always tells her, that's because you eat sugar. I don't.
He rubs it in a little bit.
He does all the time. You've had a cavity because you eat sugar. She'll pick up something sweet, and he goes, that's why you had a cavity. And so, I mean,
you know what I appreciate about like Sean Baker is he doesn't come across as he knows it all, and he because nobody knows it all, right? However, let's be a little bit use some common sense, right? And what you're saying is sugar's the devil. I mean, I think for the most part that is true, and I think like the people go, are you doing are you carnivore? I would say I'm carnivore based, but I'm probably 80-20. I because I do a lot of biking or running or things like that. I feel like I need some of the carb stuff. I need a couple pumpkin cookies, and
need or want. Okay,
I think I need them, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. When I go full on protein, high fats, I don't do as well on high fat.
Yeah.
I understand the importance of fats, but I do better backing off the fats.
Yeah.
So, because I was doing whole eggs, like 6 whole eggs, I was doing 2 or 3 pieces of bacon. And I was putting on weight, and I wasn't feeling near as good. In fact, I felt heavy. I didn't feel like my heart was for me, right? I think everybody's different. So I started backing that off. So now I do like 2 pieces of bacon, and I'll do 2 whole eggs with like 4 egg whites. And I've been doing this the last month with that. I feel way better for me, right? So I think you have to figure out what does work for you, but use some common sense. And the main thing is get away from the processed stuff, right? That's the stuff that's going to kill you.
Yeah, if it comes in a package, like if you go to the grocery store, just don't go down the aisles.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best place to start. Yeah, and I think with diet, there is no one size fits all. We've had a podcast on this that nobody actually knows, right? And the more you know, the more you know you don't really know. Like at one point, I was a vegan. Today, I'm exact opposite. And I feel better and,
Yeah, your strength's higher than ever. You feel younger than ever. And that's where I'm starting to get to now. Yeah. I think I went, for me, too far carnivore, and then I was depleted. I was really depleted, and so I needed to crank up some carbs. When I'm saying carbs, I'm talking like fruits, like some banana,
honey.
Honey. Again, those pumpkin cookies aren't they are a little processed. So there is a little process in there, but I also do some First Form has this ignition, it's glycogen stuff, which is, I understand, like sugar stuff, but I'll tell you, I take that and I just, it helps me. I'm stronger. I'm stronger now than I was 2-3 months ago, and I feel a lot better too.
I would hope that anybody listening to this is not saying, hey, I need to do a specific diet. Just get intentional about having good food in your home. Your kids will eat better. You'll eat better.
Amen.
And just don't buy junk. I think that's a good thing.
Amen.
And then in addition to fitness is working out. right? Actually moving your body. And I just want to say with this, I know most people don't work out every day, which I think is sad, right? I would encourage anybody, and they say, I can't find the time. You can find the time. You just have to prioritize it. If you have time to live, you have time to work out. However, and again, I think most people avoid it just because it's hard, right? So if there was a place you were going to start, I think going and walking for a couple of miles every day, just going on a walk, whether it's in the morning or the evening, will start to transform your life if you're not the person who's working out every single day, and you'll start to notice a tremendous change. I think walking is the most underrated form of exercise there is. It's by far underrated.
I would say you also got to look at working out as important as eating. So I'm going to eat every day. I'm going to work out every day. That is how I look at it. That's why I don't ever miss. I have to work out to live is the way I look at it. And with the walking thing, I agree. I think walking is a great place to start. I also think, this is my opinion, is I don't think walking is a workout. However, it's exercise. So I don't know. So I think it's exercise, but I don't think it's a workout. I think it's, I'm working out. No, you went on a walk. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but don't be thinking you're getting great. Now, look, that for some of you out there, that may be exercise right now. But keep in mind, if walking is an exercise, you got a problem, and you got to get on top of that.
Well, exactly, yeah. And I think what you'll see is if you work out every day. So, like, let's say you're not walking every day, but you're working out every day. What I think everybody should do some sort of something exercise. We'll call it exercise and not working out, right? Whether it's walking, maybe a 1 mile run, maybe a bike ride like you'll go on, maybe somebody lives by the ocean and they go paddle boarding or go swimming or doing something like that. I think you'll notice if you do some form of strength training every day, and then in the evenings or in the mornings you're going on a long walk or a swim or something like that, you will start feeling amazing and you will look incredible.
Agree.
And I think if you're not going to do anything but just walking, I mean, the science tells us. I mean, the fact is you are going to improve your health tremendously by walking a couple of miles a day,
for sure.
However, if you want to have an incredible physique and start setting yourself apart from the crowd, which we know what the world looks like today is like round, then do a 45-minute strength training exercise and do a couple mile walk or some form of exercise for 30 or 40 or 50 minutes a day, and you will transform your life in 90 days.
Hey, here's a test. If you go to the doctor and the doctor says you're normal, you're screwed. Okay, you do not want to be normal. Now, first of all, you shouldn't even be going to the doctor unless you have a broken bone or something, right?
Seriously,
like my hand, I go broken. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. But you,
I'll leave the jokes out of this.
I didn't do it. I didn't do this doing anything fun or stupid. It was just a random act of working in my house here. Anyway, where was I? Lost my train of thought.
Fitness, exercise.
You were saying doctor says you're
normal.
Oh yeah,
doctors, right?
Thanks, Blake. Save the day.
Don't go to anyway. But if you want to test to see how you're doing, go to the doctor, have them check your heart rate and blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. But even then, you got to be careful because they might say you have high cholesterol and you're unhealthy. I have high cholesterol right now. I guarantee I'm not unhealthy. It's just my diets. But anyway, if they say you're normal, if you're normal, right? Like you go get your testosterone check, they say you're in the normal range. You don't want to be normal. You want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to be optimal. You want to be optimal, right?
Yeah.
Optimal. So you don't want to be in the normal range. You want to be in the optimal range. So just keep that in mind, when you go get those things checked. So many people go, I'm normal. Well, that's not good today. It used to be, maybe.
Yeah, and another thing, they are doing in the medical world what they've been doing to schooling for many years. After COVID hit, what they started doing is reducing the testing requirements to move on. So they lowered the bar, but they've done the same thing for years in the medical community.
Right.
Like cholesterol is one of those things. If you look at the cholesterol limits, those have changed tremendously.
That's what I say I have high cholesterol compared to what?
Yeah, 15 years ago it would have been normal.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's just changed. And that's another thing Sean Baker talks a lot about. And there's actually a lot of study on that. It's funny because the lady that I see, that was her exact thing when she did my blood, is my cholesterol was elevated, and she goes, hey, listen, I'm not even going to point this out because if you would have come see me 5 years ago,
you were good.
It was in the normal range. She goes, it says high, but I just want you to know 5 years ago that was in a normal range. So she started telling me that, she's been a doctor for, 30 years. And she started telling me all the different years and how it's changed. It's crazy.
We got to remember all the money. Where's all the money, right? All the money is out there to all these companies own, these big firms own the processed food companies, and they own all the medical companies, and they own so all the money's there. So their job is to keep us sick so they can continue to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, if we all get healthy, their profits drop.
Yeah, and people say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy." It's not a conspiracy.
See who owns these companies.
Exactly. I just don't think it's that well planned out by all these companies. I think it's a bunch of smart people who are really good at making money.
They're predictable. They're playing the Vegas game.
Yes, they know. Hey, if we put the odds in our favor, our profits are going to go.
Odds
up.
are people are going to eat this stuff. They're not going to work out. They're going to go to the doctor when they feel sick to get a prescription.
Yep.